Okay, item 11, for discussion possible action, performance evaluation of Ken Rock, General Manager, pursuant to NRS 241.031-241.033. Possible action may include, but is not limited to, termination, suspension, demotion, reduction in pay, reprimand, promotion, endorsements, engagement, retention, salary increases, or no action. The Board of Directors may consider character, alleged misconduct, if any, professional competence, physical or mental health pursuant to NRS 241-0131. I'll say to this that this board serves by the citizens of the community. We serve at their will. The general manager serves at the will of this board. It's this board member's position on this item that I will only accept the termination of Ken Rock as general manager of the Virgin Valley Water District effective as of today. That's all my comments.
Would you repeat the end of that again?
My position on this item will only be the termination of Ken Rock as the general manager of the Virgin Valley Water District effective at once on this matter. With that, I'll turn it over to the board.
Well, I think the board ought to turn it back to you for some type of an explanation of that. How could you come to that conclusion just like that? I mean, you haven't.
That's our will, that's our will to serve. He said, our will to serve. When people elect you, do they have to give you a reason why they don't want to vote for you?
I don't know, do they you?
Yeah, they always did.
I guess that statement just came, if I may, just came kind of as a surprise to me because I know that a couple of years ago we started doing an actual evaluation, and that's how we evaluated if the general manager was doing achieving the goals that we had set or doing the kind of job that we expected. And I agree, if he isn't doing anything, if everything is well, then we just need to say all is well. And if everything's that awful, then I guess you would say it's that awful. But personally, I think he's done a really good job, and I think he's kept us abreast of issues that we need to be aware of. He's got a lot of forethought for the future, which is eye-opening for us to know ahead of time. I think this board has learned in the past that the more we ask, the more we learn, which has been, not only we've been able to ask and get answers, but we've also been given the information before we've had to ask for it. So personally, I just think he's done a good job, and I'm pleased with the performance.
I don't want to get into a lot of detail. I'm somewhat of the opinion of Ted. I think that Ken has done some great things for the water district, but I think there's the water district's at the point that we need somebody at the lead for the employees. I've had a number of employees come to me with concerns, legitimate concerns, of the direction the water district's going on a day-to-day basis. I've had a number of community members come to me with concerns on the way the water district, the direction the water district's going, the time that's spent on different items that don't necessarily deal with the water district that's being paid for. And I've had some concerns for a while with those items, and that's where I'm at.
Well, I guess I've had a different experience. Obviously, we live in different parts of the community.
Yes, we do.
And I'm sure there's maybe a different opinion, maybe people live in Bunkerville and are over here. But I have gotten comment after comment after comment after comment after comment about how things have improved unbelievably at the water district and how the community feels, how much better they feel about what's going on in the water district. I haven't had anybody that I know of that knows any employees of the water district or works for the water district who have made any comments at all to me or to anybody I know, or that they didn't think things were going. I think if we're going to do this, I think we need to get specific about, what are you talking about? But I mean, I just haven't seen that same thing. I'm flabbergasted. I think this community will be absolutely appalled at what's happened here if this is gonna happen. And I don't think, Ted, you're gonna have to worry about ever being elected at anything again, buddy. You know, if you think this is what this community wants, well, you've lost track of what's going on there.
Well, I guess it's my turn. I'm the short timer here, but I guess I run in different circles too, because I've had numerous people from the community, not just Bunkerville, but Mesquite, address their concerns, not just ratepayers, but contractors. I've had several contractors talk to me about the lack of credibility that our water district had in the bid process. Like I said, I'm a short timer. To me, you know, the couple of my concerns are, one is, you know, I feel like the information provided to us is a lot of times steered. A point in fact, if you want to get into details with me, the one I had a question on was the estoppel certificate with Wolf Creek. You know, we'd already had a previous one. Somehow that wasn't supplied in our package. So we're getting the information spoon-fed to us on what they wanted us to see, I felt. The straw that broke the camel back, to me, was the insubordination I felt that happened over the water tank. Clearly, we had a directive, a motion that was put forward that clearly stated nothing other than the tank to be painted. And in that meeting, I brought it up in the meeting, you can remember that. I said, why are we doing this? And the quote was, to accommodate the Chamber of Commerce. Remember that? To me, that was clear insubordination.
I remember you voting for it,
Voting for what?
agreeing that it was okay.
No, I didn't. Green, what was okay?
That if somebody wanted to paint it, they could bring a proposal
That
back.
wasn't what the motion was. Or the
Nobody's
vote.
painted it at this point. The only thing is they were going to bring
The
a
problem was,
proposal back.
Carl, that the bids went out, including that.
And there was direct,
We had said no and the bids went
Clear
out.
directive, to me, it was insubordination.
and once again, I received 2 emails today on that very issue once again. That once, you know, I don't know how more clear it could have been in the motion that I made on the water tank, that no design be worried about. Yet I'm still receiving correspondence on stinking design of painting that stinking water tank.
Nobody has brought anything back to the Chamber of Commerce with any design, so I guess that
But-
they haven't followed through on it.
But Carl, that's not the point. That's not the point at all. The point is that there was direction given, and what was done is exactly what Ken wanted it to be done, not what the board wanted it to be done, but what Ken wanted it to be done. Because that's been brought before us how many times, painting that stinking tank.
Probably a couple.
You know, and I agree with Sandra that Ken's a forward thinker. I agree wholeheartedly with that, and, sometimes though, I think he has an agenda, an environmental agenda. Is he a forward thinker? Yeah, I think so. I agree with that statement. But is that what the district needs right now? Guess that's up for us to decide.
Okay, has everybody said their thing? I'll seek a motion then.
I just want to say one more thing before I make a motion, is that this hasn't been something that Kenyon Levitt's taken lightly by any means. I've stayed awake nights for months now, knowing that this date was gonna come. And how was I gonna vote, and how was I going to, what kind of motion would I make if I had that choice? And once again, I would hope that, and I say this and I know full well because I know how I would feel if I was in a position. When I say don't take it personally, because I would take it personally. That's just human nature. But I think that because of the response that I've received from members of the community and members of the water district that work here, that feel that morale should be a heck of a lot more than what it is, that they have one of the best jobs available, and that they just think that they're not getting led the way that they would hope to get led, that we need, my responsibility is to make a motion to not really Ken as general manager at this time.
Is that a motion?
That's a
That would-
I'll second it.
Okay, that would be a motion to terminate. Termination, okay.
You had a comment?
I was just gonna ask, with clarification, I believe your motion said not to renew, and so I was gonna ask exactly what
That's
the
termination,
intent
right?
is that.
Okay. So we've got a motion, call for a vote. All those in favor? 3 in favor. All those opposed? 2. Motion carried. Let's see, we need to have Mary schedule a personnel meeting as soon as possible to appoint an interim general manager. We probably need locks changed and et cetera.
I don't see any need.
I don't know about
No, I
that.
guess not.
I
We may have some guidelines on that. Is that all we need, Mary? You have a lot of help. Eric?
Well, if I get, you'll have to make some, you've already, we'll have to, I guess, at the next meeting, make some decisions about interim manager, things like that. I'll have to make arrangements for getting Ken his final check and stuff in accordance with the employee policy.
That's all lined out in the,
Yeah, I believe it's covered in the employee policy as far as the time period, getting the final check within the 24-hour period and otherwise handling those final issues. The
Okay.
personnel policy.